As fighting grinds on in Lebanon, is the IDF effectively admitting a kind of defeat in front of Hezbollah by saying its core goal can't be fully achieved right now? As Israeli troops drive deeper north, is the army also conceding that it still cannot actually strip Hezbollah of its rocket arsenal on this campaign? When generals admit only a massive nationwide ground invasion could truly disarm Hezbollah, are they drawing a clear red line on what Israel will not do for now? With the IDF itself talking about a 15,000 soldier shortfall, can Israel really repel both Hezbollah's fighters and its rockets over the long haul? The IDF is pushing deeper into Lebanon, but its stated ambition to fully disarm Hezbollah is now running into a very hard reality check. Even as armor and infantry advance, senior officers told Jerusalem Post that completely disarming Hezbollah simply isn't realistic in this phase of the war. The army has told Israeli media that true, full disarmament would require a major invasion that reaches into almost every village and town across Lebanon. At the same time, the IDF stresses it will not launch that kind of full-scale, countrywide ground operation at present. Instead, commanders say they are concentrating on hunting and reducing Hezbollah's self-propelled rocket caches and launch zones around the Litani corridor. Within about a week, IDF divisions say they expect to control a strip of territory roughly 8 to 10 kilometers inside Lebanon. That belt is designed to push Hezbollah's anti-tank teams back and to extend the warning time Israel gets before new missile salvos are launched. But the army admits Hezbollah's rocket stockpiles and mobile launchers north of the Litani still pose its biggest long-term challenge. Those mobile units, constantly shifting and hiding, make any talk of full disarmament almost impossible without a very deep, very costly incursion. The IDF also now concedes it failed to fully disarm southern Lebanon in its 2024 operations, despite months of air and ground activity. At this stage, 5 divisions are engaged in Lebanon, some deep inland, others positioned along the coastal axis, to hold and expand the current footprint. Previously, Israel had leaned heavily on airstrikes alone to hit rocket cells in southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. The current ground thrust toward the Litani signals a shift toward more direct suppression of launch zones, not just remote targeting from the air. IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir insists this campaign is damaging Hezbollah and weakening it as part of a longer-term plan, not a quick, total knockout. Zamir said, and I quote, "This objective encompasses a wide range of efforts that will continue over time. The current campaign is damaging Hezbollah and weakening it." Unquote. Interestingly, an IDF spokesperson has also acknowledged that the army is currently short by around 15,000 soldiers overall.
Today we announced the fall of 2 IDF fighters. Staff Sergeant Ori Greenberg of blessed memory, 21 years old, from Petah Tikva, a fighter in the Golani Reconnaissance Battalion, and Sergeant Aviat Elkanan Walansky of blessed memory, 21 years old, from Jerusalem, a fighter in Battalion 77 of the 7th Brigade. The soldiers fell in battles in southern Lebanon as they were defending the northern communities. I want to say that we are lacking in the IDF about 15,000 soldiers, of whom between 7,000 to 8,000 combat soldiers. We are required for a range of missions. The range of the missions has expanded, the surface area of the missions has expanded, it is not as it was in the past. The surface area in Judea and Samaria, West Bank, has expanded, the front in Lebanon, the forward defensive area we are creating requires additional IDF forces also in the future in the long term, also in Gaza along the Yellow Line more forces are required. Also in Syria we are fighting as I said and we need to be prepared for future missions. For this, more fighters are required in the IDF. This is what the Chief of Staff said, and look, the Chief of Staff is obligated to express his position regarding the IDF's readiness.
Looking ahead, the IDF says it plans to maintain a 2 to 4 kilometer deep security zone inside southern Lebanon after the war. Troops would operate inside that strip but reserve the right to strike Hezbollah targets and positions all the way up to the Litani line. That marks a shift from the pre-2000s era, when Israel did not hold such deep or persistent positions beyond a narrow border presence. Israeli planners now talk of 3 notional lines in Lebanon, the border itself, a second line 3 to 5 kilometers in, and then the Litani River as the outer limit. The army claims that roughly 1,000 Hezbollah fighters have been killed since this round of fighting reignited, though that figure is disputed by the group. And as Hezbollah keeps launching rockets into Israel, the IDF says degrading and ultimately disarming Iran's most powerful proxy on its northern border remains a top strategic priority, even if full disarmament is out of reach for now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.